Niche customer avatar. In this document, we will gather every single possible piece of information about your audience. An example, you could do a weight loss customer avatar. So you could find a weight loss product and sell it, right? I'm going to give you action steps here. Under each pain point, you'll write how this pain point influences the life of your audience and what other problems arise from that one problem, because other problems come up. Ask yourself questions like, how does this make them feel? What is their stance on the problem? Have they given up? Like, here's another example of like where we just talk about this one, right? What other problems come up? I remember I had a friend in school, and whenever he was getting the bus, basically a friend from the bus, right? And he broke his arm, and it was in a cast, and somehow, or I think maybe he broke his rib as well or something. And every time we made him laugh, it was really sore, because he'd broken his rib and it was just difficult to laugh. And so that's like a problem, that if you're working with someone, or if you're selling a product to someone who can benefit from it and they have a broken rib or something like that, you can be like, it actually got to a point where even laughing was difficult for me. And that's something that's an actual pain point that those people can relate to. So think about, how does this problem make them feel? I can't even laugh. Fuck, it just sucks all the joy out of my life. I can't even laugh. My rib's broken. You know, how does breaking a rib suck all the joy out of my life? Well, it means I can't laugh. You know what I mean? Like, understanding what the problems are. What's their stance on the problem? Have they given up? Are they gonna just deal with this? Like, this person can just give up, as we showed up here. And how does it influence their daily life? Does it feel like they can't do certain things? Does it restrict them? How do other people view them? Do they feel like attention seekers? Be as detailed as possible. The research is where you make money as a copywriter, so don't forget that. Customer research, the dream outcomes. Now, we're going to flip the script here, and we're going to be researching some of their dream outcomes, right? So not their pain points. In other words, what's the ideal scenario where the problem is fully solved? What are their dreams and aspirations? And to put it very simply, what do they want and actually dream about? So, action step number 2, the ideal outcomes. Right now, you'll do the same things you did for the pain points, except you'll be looking for their top five ideal outcomes. So I mentioned a weight loss. Let's say you just want to pick something else, something that you've probably had a pain point with that's going to be the most useful, because it's just going to be easier for you to research. So if you're just going through a breakup, right, it's not going to be easy. But it's like, if you just start to research something that is sold as a solution to breakups, like usually it's like a life coach or some shit like that, you know, you can start to research, okay, you start to research breakups. These are the things that, like, you've probably had pain points with something. You've unwittingly done research on lots of things in your life by just engaging in content, right? So let's say, for example, you're having trouble with your weight or whatever. You're probably looking at content about weight loss. And then you're like, yeah, but it's so hard because this and this. And it's like, that's doing research. So just do a focused effort on pain points and dream outcomes, right? So this is very important. So put in information in a Google Doc. Put all these questions in the Google Doc. Ask yourself questions like, and by the way, if you're watching this for free on YouTube, and we give all these templates away to people who just join our paid program, and we can have a look at your research document, review it. If you're watching this in the paid program, you can post your research documents in. We'll have a look at it. We'll see if you could do better research. We'll take a look at it, and basically we'll start to see your copy improve if you're doing these, right? So it's very important. If you want feedback, you've got to be in the paid community. What does the ultimate solace look like? Like, how if they solve their problem, what does that feel like for them? How does that look on a day-to-day basis? What does their life look like after achieving these outcomes? How does it make them feel? How do others view them? So, like, I'm not going to share my own problems here, but I have problems in my life, and I think about it on a deep level daily. Like, there's things that I'm like, oh, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. You know, like, let's say, for example, I wish I could go to the gym more and I wish I could train more, but I have to work more at the moment because I'm trying to grow my company, right? And so, like, for me, if I could train 2 or 3 times a day and still run the company, I would love that. And so that would be my dream outcome. And there's loads of things I could do there to solve that problem. So if somebody comes along and is like, I can basically get you the same result, but you can train twice a day, I'd be like, oh my God, take my money, right? So that's an example. I think about these things every day, and I come up with my own pain points in my own mind. And so you need to do all of these, right? You need to really, really think about this. Whatever your problem is, whatever you're going to write about. Action step number 3, converting their desired outcomes into benefits. Right now, we're going to convert all the 5 desired outcomes into benefits. In other words, we're going to turn these desires into real life impactful benefits. For example, the desired outcome, they want to gain 10 pounds of muscles. Me, for example, I go to the gym daily because I want to put on muscle. What is the actual benefit of gaining that muscle? More attention from girls, respect from your peers, higher self-esteem, you look better on camera. You know what I mean? These are the benefits of the thing that you really want. Outcome, healing from depression. Okay, if I get over my depression, I get better sleep, more calmness, better productivity, more spontaneity, gratitude for a better life, appreciation for life, just happier in general. It's not hard to think of benefits of getting over depression, right? And so these can be applied to whatever product you're actually writing about, whatever pain point you're solving. Customer awareness. Now, this is the next crucial step in researching our audience. It's to determine their level of awareness. You'll use different sales tactics for somebody who doesn't even know they have a problem as you will for somebody who's already tried tens of products from your niche. So you'll use different ones for different types of people. Some people don't know they have a problem. You'll speak to them in one way. Some people do know they have a problem. You speak to them in another way. So, for example, even on my YouTube channel, I put out videos that I know will have different audiences. So if I put out a video where it's a 12-hour copywriting course, I know that the people watching that are complete beginners. So I need to speak to them at the beginning of the video in a different way than if I'm putting out a standalone video that's just like a research, like let's say I put this video out. This is for copywriters who want to get better at writing copy. So I think about what are the problems that those people have and how can what I'm about to show them solve that for them. And how do I speak to them in a way that shows that I actually understand their problem? And that's going to be different for people who are just trying to make money and they don't give a shit about copywriting. They don't even know what research is. I have to speak to those people in a different way. I have to think about the problems that they have and how I can show them a solution. This is what a customer awareness is. It's an exercise that helps you discover where your audience is in their customer journey. So whatever product you're selling, you understand like who's buying it. Do they know they have a problem? If they know they have a problem, how many solutions have they tried? And are they aware of your brand? If so, what is their stance to your brand? What do they think about you? More research. Answering these questions is absolutely crucial in order to figure out the right sales strategy. There are 5 levels of customer awareness. So let's have a detailed look at each one. Number 1, completely unaware. Customers at this stage don't even realize they have a problem. They simply don't know a better way exists. At this point, your copy must educate first and offer a healthy amount of evidence and explanation. Let's use breakups as an example here because it's such an easy one to do and I have experience with it, right? So at the start, let's say you're going through a shitty relationship and you're completely unaware that, like if you're in a relationship, at before you get to the argument stage, before you get to the big problem stage, you're completely unaware that you have problems, and maybe the problems are that, you know, your other half doesn't trust you or something like that, right? You're completely unaware of that because it hasn't been highlighted. But you might see a video being like, you know that moment whenever your girl asks to see your phone or something like that, and then it immediately pops into your head. Now you become aware of the problem. You're like, oh yeah, that's quite annoying. But before that point, you were completely unaware. And so this is the same with any product you sell. You know, you might be overweight, you might have a problem with some pain point or whatever, and you at the beginning you're completely unaware that you even have that problem, but it takes something hitting you out of the blue on social media or whatever for you to even think about that. Oh yeah, maybe I do solve that problem. And then that's when you get to the next customer awareness level, which is problem aware. Problem aware prospects know they have a problem, but this is their first time in dealing with it. They're totally unfamiliar with the possible solutions, and at this point you must empathize with their pain, introduce your solution, and give strong benefits. So they actually don't know what even are the solutions. Like, they literally have no idea, and so they're quite skeptical. They're like, I don't even know what I don't know, right? Then we have solution aware. So solution aware people are people who know. So the people that jump on sales calls with me who want to get mentored or whatever. And some of them, like yesterday, I had a guy who was like, yeah, man, I know that this is what I want to do, and I know that I need coaching with it. And I was like, why do you know that you need coaching? He's like, because I've tried to do it by myself, and I don't know how good. I don't know at what point do I realize my copy's good enough to get paid for it. I don't have any feedback on it. I have no actual frame of reference for, okay, I know that this is good enough and I can move on to this next thing. So he's kind of just lost, which is exactly a solution aware person. He's aware that there's a solution to his problem, and so he's now just trying to find that solution, right? So they're not looking for you see, they're slightly above people who are problem aware, because they actually know, okay, I need a solution. I kind of know the solutions that I need, and I just need to find, is this the right solution for me? So is this mentor going to be better than this mentor? You know, and people are going through difficult relationships. Is the solution to stay with the person? Is it to get marriage counseling? Is it to break up with them? Is it to do this? Is it to this? There's different solutions. You see, at the different levels, we're getting to different thoughts in people's minds. The people who are solution aware aren't thinking about the same things as the people who are completely unaware, or the people who are problem aware. These people actually know that there are solutions out there, and that now they just need to determine which solution is for them. And so at this point, you need to show some social proof. You need to show that, okay, you know that this is the thing for you. Now I want to show you that ours is we're the company to help you do that. And so I'm going to show you examples of other people who are in your position and now trust us to help them with that problem. So you need to communicate your unique selling point, your selling proposition, and build trust. So there's more on that later. Then there's product aware. These people know that these people know of your product, but they haven't bought it because they aren't sure that if it's the right fit for them. They're familiar with your competitors' offers as well, and at this point you just have to highlight scarcity and incentive in your copy. You need to give them a reason, again, similar enough to solution aware. You just need to give them a reason to join you. Your prospect knows your solution and is fully convinced it solves their problem. These are the best customers. They're brand loyal and enthusiastic about your products. And at this stage, you simply need to present your offer in an extraordinary fashion. So, for example, on my offer, there's some people who come in and they just know, it's the best call of all time for me, because I'm like, this person just knows that he needs help and I can help him and he just wants to join. There's people who literally jump on and like, which card do you want me to pay with? I'm like, this is great. It's like the easiest customer sale of all time. This person knows they have a problem, and they know that like with the results I've gotten for other copywriters, that I'm the person to help them, right? Whereas some people don't even know that they have a problem, or some people don't even know, like, there's different levels of awareness here, which we've just covered. And so you need to understand where your customers are at and what you're targeting with your ad is going to do, right? So let's move on. Determining the customer awareness level first starts with asking yourself these questions about the problem that your product solves. How well known is the product as the problem? How likely are prospects to realize that they have this problem? Some people don't address that they have a problem because they have an ego. I have friends who have bad relationships and they will not even address the fact that a breakup is possible, because they're like, no fucking way. I'm not breaking up. It's too painful of a solution to this problem, so I just don't even want to open it. And so there's different ways if you're to try and convince that person, like if you know that it's the right thing for them to do is to break up with a person, a good friend will tell them in the right way that, like, hey, I think this is the right thing for you, right? And so this is a question you need to ask, and you only find the answer to this by doing your research on your particular client or product, and then your particular brand, your audience, right? Your customer. So besides ours, what other solutions do they have available? Why should they even buy from us? Like, does somebody else sell a much superior or a much inferior product? And if so, I need to know about it, because it'll allow me to position my product in a better way. How well known are the different solutions, right? Second thing we need to ask is ask questions about the business that you're writing for. What is our reputation? Do we have a lot of case studies? Do we have proof that we can help people become good copywriters? Like for me, for example, we have loads and loads of case studies of people being really successful with our program. So if I have a copywriter come in, the first thing they should be asking is, can I see all your case studies? I want to use these in my copy. Is this prospect likely to have seen our advertising before? Right? Now, determining customer awareness level. Third, you want to ask questions about the product that you're writing about. Is it brand new? If not, how long has it been on the market? Is it unique or not? How much advertising in this product have we already done? So we need to understand what the level of customer awareness is. Now, here's the next action step. Figure out the level of your customer awareness. So whatever product or service that you're selling for, whatever problem you're trying to solve, you need to do this as an exercise as well as the previous exercise that we talked about. Now, product and market research involves three things. 1, how the product works. 2, how the products of your competition work. And 3, why is it better than the competition? Firstly, how does the product work? Do not overcomplicate this. Simply find every single possible piece of information about your product. So what it does, maybe it's a teeth whitening product, how it does that particular thing, e.g. how it whitens teeth, what attributes does it have, what capabilities does it have, And now all these characteristics together are called features in copywriting. Features are simply the sum of all the attributes of the product. Now that we have all the features of the product, we need to convert them into benefits. We always sell the benefit. We do not sell the feature. If I'm selling you something, I tell you about, oh yeah, we get this many lessons in our program. If you see me selling my own program, I'm like, you don't see me anywhere saying, yeah, we've got like 63 lessons at 7 minutes each, because it's like, that's not the solution you're looking for. You don't give a fuck how many lessons are. You just want to know, is this going to solve my problem? Benefits. How these specifics will make the life of your customer better or easier. Right? Features or product specifics. You need to understand the features, but you then need to be able to convert them into benefits. Feature is 1 terabyte of hard drive space. Benefit is never forget your childhood memories. Feature might be wireless headphone technology. Benefit, never worry about tangled up headphones again. Feature, 7 days battery life. Benefit, avoid tiring trips to the store. Now, I talked earlier about this. This is very important. The unique selling proposition. Your goal right now is to figure out what makes your product better than the rest of the competition. USP. So we talk about this when I talk about creating your offer as well. And I might mention this later in the course. Your unique selling proposition is the one thing or unique mechanism that makes you stand out from everybody else. So if I think about myself, right, for an example, I am a person who creates copywriting content. I know that the very fact I'm from Ireland is going to relate to people who are from the UK and Ireland, because most of the people who do this stuff are from the US, right? And so sometimes I lean heavier on that. Where Ireland, Jersey, I talk about being from the, Ireland or the UK or whatever, living, growing up and going to university in England and stuff like that. I talk about that stuff because I know that people watching are going to relate to that. And they're going to be like, okay, I can trust this guy a little bit more. He's actually close to where I'm from, right? And so you need to understand, like, what are the unique selling propositions that you have and that you can sell with your product, whatever product you're selling for your customer or your client, right? Based on that, you have to figure out why and how your product is better than the rest. And to make it very simple, you must know more about your product and your competition. And the more you know, the better. Okay? USP. Format your USP like this. My product, my copywriting program, helps beginner copywriters with getting from 0 to 10K a month through our proven processes, which helps them be no longer broke, or whatever example I would give there, right? Your product helps XYZ people with XYZ problem through XYZ unique mechanism, which helps them be happy and confident, right? Or whatever the biggest benefit is. High Smile whitening strips help men and women from 20 to 65 years old get rid of their yellow teeth through the PAP plus whitening formula. Oh, what's this special whitening formula? Oh, it helps me because I'm between this age range. Oh, I suffer from yellow teeth. And oh, how does it help me? Oh, it helps me look amazing and feel amazing. Warning, you don't have to use your USP the exact same way while writing copy. Just consider it a useful resource. This is part of your research. This is not something you actively write all the time. Like you can write this without writing it, if you know what I mean. Like you can do it in your research, understand it, and that then just converts into how you write your copy. Your goal right now will be to create a Google document called Your Product Name Research. Then you will research your product, come up with your USP, and convert all of its features into benefits. So for example, let's say you're doing research for Andrew Tate's course. Write that. That's an action step, by the way. Research your product and make a document on it and do all the research I just talked about. Probably going to have to watch this back multiple times. Competition research. Now you're going to pick the top 3 competitors of your product or service and gather all the information about these competitors the same way you did about your own product. And in a nutshell, you're going to figure out all of its features, benefits, and USPs. Pro tip. This time, it will be way easier since you can simply find the sales pages or descriptions of these products and copy and paste all that information, right? You can literally just find these by just looking at them. Then create another document and go and find the competitors, right? So that's it for research. I've given you a lot of action items there, and it's very, very important that you go out and do this. I've given you all the action items you need. You need to create all these documents, put them into a folder, and now you're doing your research, and do this research for multiple niches in depth. The longer these research documents, the better. I mean, these should be 50 pages of research, not like 1 page, 1 example for everything. If you're lazy about this, like if you want to just do the laziest example, if you just want to do the laziest research, you're going to get the results of a lazy person. I see people who join our paid community, and some of them join and they're lazy. They don't even structure their titles correctly. They don't put capital letters where they should, or they just cut corners. Those people don't get clients. The ones that do get clients are the people who put the effort in. I see their research. I actually hired someone because his research document was sick, and he sent me a loom and his energy was high. I was like, this guy actually gives a shit. That's the type of person I want to hire as a business owner. I don't want to hire somebody who's just like dragging his feet and it's like, I want to make money. Yeah, I'll do the bare minimum, but like I'm not gonna go above and beyond. So yeah, that's it for research. Let's move on to the next one. Right, so now you know how to research. There's actually tons of research templates and documents that you can get inside my paid program, Apex, which you can apply for down below in the description. Now I want to get into some absolutely crucial advice that took me 5 years to learn, and I just want to save you those 5 years and just teach you it. This stuff is really important, so let's get into it. 5 years ago, I started copywriting from my parents' house, and now I'm a millionaire from it. If I could go back and tell myself what I know now, I would have saved years of my time and made a lot more money. And so that's exactly what I'm going to give you in this video. 5 pieces of crucial advice you need to know if you're a beginner copywriter. Now, the first piece of advice. So this is a bit of a weird one, but a lot of copywriters will tell me that they're struggling to come up with creative angles for their copy, or just coming up with things to write in general, or that they just can't stop procrastinating and they just can't actually write when they need to do it. Now, as someone who did the absolute bare minimum in school and university, I can completely empathize with you. There's a reason I dropped out of both. But there's actually a name for this that you might have heard before. It's called writer's block. It's something that people who produce music or write books or create movie scripts have been dealing with for hundreds of years. It can really mess with your head if you're in a rush to make money like I was at the beginning as well. Because if you can't write, then you can't give your work to clients, and it just slows down your ability to make that essential money. So what I like to do is I get out of my house when I want to write something. There's something about being stuck in the same 4 walls that just kills my creativity, and I need to get out of there. I like to write in coffee shops or parks, or even just go to a friend's house for a while and write in their living room. You'll find that it just opens up your brain a little bit more, and you get a buzz from going out somewhere and actually having a little adventure when you go to write. And to be honest, I actually came up with the idea for this video and planned a little bit of it in a coffee shop in Dubai. So get out of the house and start writing. This takes me on to my second piece of copywriting advice for beginners. A lot of the copywriting advice that you see on YouTube is just really weak. They tell you that,
oh, if you just DM 100 people and ask if they're doing anything with email right now, you'll get a client.
this is the most basic shit advice ever. Like, if you want to write copy for a business, you have to actually package up your service as an offer. Simply saying, I can write your emails is not good enough. Most business owners do not see the value in having someone as an email copywriter, and they don't see the value in you specifically. Because copywriting is a fairly unknown skill. Like, if you go out and ask 5 people on the street what is copywriting, none of them will know what it is. And so what it means is, you can make money as just a copywriter, but if you want to make more money, it's a lot easier if you pair up copywriting with another skill. So I like to tell my coaching clients, which you can apply to be in the description if you just go down there right now. I'll wait. I tell my coaching clients that they should learn something else alongside copywriting if they really want to succeed. Now, before you freak out and have a hissy fit, I'm not telling you to go and get a black belt in jiu-jitsu and then offer that with your copywriting. You just need to learn a really simple skill like editing videos on TikTok, and then pair that up with writing scripts for TikTok creators. Because think about something that a business owner does every single day. If they have to make content and they have to script that content, they have to edit that content, and then they have to film it and then post it, how can you make their life as easy as possible? You can take out 2 birds with 1 stone. You can offer to write the script for the video that they're going to read out and tell their audience, and then you can just clip it up yourself in an app that takes like 10 minutes. That way you're making their life so easy, it is almost impossible for them to say no if you have a good offer. As a beginner, uphill battle to get clients because you're competing with people who already have experience and you're competing with all the other beginners. But it's made so easy if you just follow what I tell you here and go the extra mile. Freelance copywriting is only hard if you follow other copywriting YouTubers and not me, because I just tell you how it really is. I'll give you 2 more examples of how you can make these offers irresistible for your clients. So the first way I would do it is, imagine you are going to handle someone's email marketing for them, like you're going to write the emails for them. I recommend you actually just learn an email marketing software that they use, like Klaviyo or ListKit or any of the other email softwares, and learn how to actually use that software. So you can write the emails for them, and then you can set up the flows, like if it's a welcome flow or an abandoned cart flow, you can just learn how to set that up and then write the emails for it, and you've done 2 jobs in one. Business owners, me included, hate having to hire people because it's such a lengthy process. You have to deal with so many bad applicants, and so if you can just do 2 jobs in one, you're saving a business owner so much time and effort, and they'll happily pay you. Another example is if you're going to write someone a video sales letter, which is basically just a PowerPoint that they speak over, then you can write the VSL and then you can just package it up as a nice PowerPoint that they can just use on the video. These little additions will go so far in helping you actually land clients, and you'll just make so much more money if you follow what I tell you here. My third piece of advice is all about what type of copy is best to make money with at the beginning. So I remember when I started out, I basically learned from every guru on the internet that email copywriting is the way to go if you want to make money. And look, I did make a lot of money out of email copywriting over the years, and I have some friends who pretty much only do email copywriting and they make like 15 to 20k a month. But it's far from the only way you can make money as a copywriter. I think most of these gurus you'll watch on YouTube are generally just given the most basic advice because they've never actually had to do it themselves and they haven't got any experience outside of email. There are much bigger opportunities in copywriting, especially in 2024 and if you're watching this in the future. My biggest clients as a freelancer were Panasonic, Warner Bros, Burger King, the BBC, TikTok, and about 20 other big brands. And these are brands that I guarantee none of these other copywriting YouTubers have ever had experience with. And guess what? I didn't write a single email for any of them. I did something completely different. I wrote the ad creatives for their ad campaigns on TikTok. If I had listened to all the gurus, I'd be so obsessed with just trying to get email clients that I would never have been able to work with these huge companies. I'd be so focused on getting a small supplement brand in Kenya to pay me to write their abandoned cart emails. My advice to you is to think outside the box and look for different ways you can write copy for businesses. Writing copy on social media is a huge opportunity that just is not talked about on YouTube for some reason. There are literally millions of people making content on social media every single day, and a lot of them make educational content. So there are so many people who just create content that teach things online, and they make content every single day to grow their business or to keep their business alive, which means every single piece of content they write can be written by a copywriter and they just read it off a script on the video. So think outside the box, don't just go for email clients. Now, my fourth piece of advice is dedicated to all the wantrepreneurs out there. So I'm going to tell you a wee story here. I've been doing copywriting for about 5 years and I've been teaching copywriting for about 4 years. And all through that time, I would check my Instagram DMs to kind of like help any beginner copywriters that would message me and see my videos. I didn't even have anything to sell for the first year, so I just wanted to help people because I knew how hard it was at the beginning. And so there was one guy that used to message me all the time, and he'd honestly message me like 3 or 4 times a week, basically just asking questions about copywriting, asking about how to get clients, just like every single possible question you could have about making money as a copywriter, this guy would ask it. And I noticed after a while, like he never really furthered from where he was. Like he stayed in the same position. He would tell me like he's read these books and he would send me like a quote from some copywriting book that I hadn't heard of. And he's just like,
yeah, you know, Clayton Makepeace says beauty is in the eye of the copywriter.
Some stupid quote, right? And like, to me, this guy, after a while, just seemed like all he wanted to do was read and study. He didn't want to actually take action on what he had to do. And big news flash, if you want to make money, nobody makes money by just reading. You have to take action. Anyway, this guy kept going at this for years. Like honestly, he would text me every week for like 2 years, and I had a friend who's a copywriter as well, and he basically just like, we would look at his messages, be like, this guy is ridiculous. Like he would get like really bitter that he wasn't doing anything about it, and he would take it out on me, and he'd start like disagreeing with some point I made in a video that's like, I made like a 1 hour video, and he picks out